Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Digibro. I'm not in this episode. I don't even know what this episode's about, but here's a rant I gotta give you. I'm sick of half measures by society when it comes to germs. Everyone washes their hands all the time after they take a piss. You don't even really touch anything, but you feel the need to wash your hands. People wash their hands after they touch this and that. When they touch trash, they touch this. But yet everyone goes to the grocery store and pushes around carts that 1,000 other people's hands have been on, and no one washes their hands afterwards. Or even, worries about it. No one, puts shit on their hands to grab the cart, even though every fucking sick motherfucker who's been in that place has touched that cart. If you're touching carts, then, you're doing it wrong. You're fucking up, and you're washing your hands after all. I don't know what I'm talking about. Here's the episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast. I am back. It's just me today. Nobody else is here. I'm the best guy ever.
Creek, it's me, Munchu. I just walked in the door.
I didn't. Oh, hey, what do you know? It's,
don't tell Nate, but I'm hiding under the table. He doesn't know I'm here. I'm here with
Nobody
Davoo.
is here.
Oh, is that him? You under the table?
Oh,
is that
shit.
You?
No, I'm not. No
Oh,
one's
you
here.
upended the table, goddammit. Now I see you guys.
Here comes the crappy pants man.
Everyone's favorite character.
I'm a superhero. No one knows my secret identity. You don't know who I really am. I'm the crappy pants man. Who could I be? Which mysterious member of the PCP is actually me?
AKA the Pooper Taylor.
Fill it with a shit. The crappy pants man can. He can do that.
Hey, you kids! What are you all getting up to? It's me,
Dad!
your dad, Ben Saint here, and I'm getting my fucking belt off, kids.
No.
Then your
Okay,
pants
Dad.
I don't want to
do
suck
our
your dick
homework.
again, Benz.
Don't take my belt off. My pants are the only things keeping in my crap.
My pants are the only thing that set me apart from the animals in the field. Please don't take my clothing; they're my badge of honor. Okay, anyway, we're here. It's Procrastinators podcast, and we're talking about some shit. Okay, so we got a topic suggestion from a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, and Davoo too, of course. Davoo encompasses the rest of
The
us.
furtive Davoo.
So
That's
easily
right.
forgotten.
So easily forgotten.
So easily forgotten. That's actually hilarious. So
Except I
here
made that
is-
same fucking joke about myself last week, and no one laughed then.
It wasn't hilarious when it was about Ben
wasn't-
because
that's
Ben's
right.
not cool.
That's
No,
right.
that was a lie.
It was harsh justice.
So okay, we got a suggestion here for a topic from our buddy. It's Munke at Munke Away, who I think has asked a question
Is
before.
that my secret evil twin brother?
Probably. But
Monkey
here's what they
Jones?
got to say. It's not Mumkey Jones. It's Munke Away. He says, "Are there any art mediums you think are crap? I, for instance, share Digi's views of disliking visual novels." So this guy's asking a question about the inherent worthiness of different artistic mediums, basically. And a couple of us had been discussing this topic amongst themselves already, so this was very apropos of a suggestion. So Ben and Munchie, I believe, you got things to say about this, right?
Well, kinda. Like, okay, if by medium you mean like film, prose, then I would say no, probably not.
Not
But-
worthy.
I
not-
would
not
say
good.
yes. However, continue, Ben.
But I was gonna say, but I think there are genres that are inherently worthless.
Genres, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this
yeah.
guy's talking about like visual novels. So I think
We'll run
well,
the
okay,
entire
we can define it
gambit,
however we
bro.
want.
We'll
It doesn't
run the
matter.
entire gambit. We'll go mediums,
Yeah,
we'll go genres.
yeah.
We'll go fucking art itself being worthless, which is my.
I'm just saying-
I'm gonna jump right into this and say that I think
Okay.
any medium or genre can be good, but not necessarily any.
Yeah.
Like
I
there
think
may
they
not
can
be a
be-
good one in that genre yet, so they all seem bad.
I think anything can be good, but I think that being good, I think that like a porn, for example, that is good is just inherently worth less than like a real book that is good or a real movie that is good.
There are definitely
You know-
tiers of goodness, depending, like assigned to each class or medium.
Well, hang on.
And you
Yeah.
cannot
interesting.
go
about
above that
about
stat.
porn though. About porn though. What if there's a book and there's like sex in it at some point? And
Yeah.
If
Well,
there's
its
a
not
porn that is
primary
basically
purpose
a
is
story,
to be porn then.
What is
Yeah.
it?
There's this really great anime called Kite, I think, and it's by some director who's really famous who I forget, and it's beautifully animated, And he's got a couple things like Mezzo Forte is another one that's like that has some of like just the best hentai fat material in the game, and yet it's just in the context of this other story where there's just like, it's like a detective sort of story where there's, spies and it's adventure, and yet there's just these incredibly detailed sex scenes that are they're just super fappable. They're just incredibly fappable. And they're just in the context of this bigger piece of art. So I don't even know. It feels kind of separate. It's almost like in Fate Stay Night, like the sex scenes feel very like removable from the story. In the same way, these scenes, like it's funny because most of them are just like dream sequences, at least in Mezzo Forte. So they're like completely removable. But in Kite, the other one, they are actually kind of a characterization of this woman who like, she's like a secret agent spy lady, and she is, being controlled by this like evil policeman, and he has sex with her.
I feel like we're getting a little off topic here.
Ben,
Yeah,
what exactly is it to you, Ben, about porn that makes it not valid?
It's not that it's not valid at all. It's just less valid because it all falls back on the same fucking. It all amounts to the same thing in the end. It all comes down to the same exact emotional response being evoked in basically the same way again and again. And it's cheap and it's tawdry and nobody learns anything.
But if you, in theory, if you want to make like an artistic porn and try to evoke like other emotions, why can't you?
And also, I disagree that it all
but
comes
the
down to the
idea of
same
porn is to-
feeling. Like, sometimes I feel it more in my ass sometimes, based on the context of the porn.
That's gross.
You feel it in your ass when you're watching the porn.
The
okay,
idea
there's-
of porn is
Okay,
to
well,
usually
like, if
get
you
your
take-
rocks
if you-
off. And if
if you
it's
take a-
strays from that, then it's not really porn.
Yeah, if you take a porn
Yeah,
and you fucking just
Well, that's
put,
like a no true Scotsman for artistic mediums.
I get, yeah, I
don't know
guess
if
it
that's true.
is. I guess it is. And yet, if you take, I don't know, fucking, I don't know, porn of the week number 77, and you slap fucking Catcher in the Rye in the middle of it.
Well,
like, have you
alright,
have you
I
made
think
have you
I
then
understand
created?
what you're
Shut up.
saying.
Have you then created a thoughtful and engaging work of pornography? I
think-
would say no.
So you're saying that what
Yeah,
you don't like
yeah.
about pornography is that it's just, it doesn't matter how it gets there. If it gives you an erection, then it's done its job, and that's what it means to be a porn.
Yes.
And therefore,
Yes.
Well, it
that
just
that
so
in itself
happens-
is not artistic, and it
I-
would need
I have-
something
I
else
look-
in order to be artistic. But to have something
that-
else would
that
change
raises-
it from porn into something that is not porn.
Look, that's an important
I have-
question because the
I have-
question here is: are there art mediums you think are crap? If porn serves if it is a tool with which to get off as opposed to learn anything, then it's just not art. It's not art if all you're getting from it is this one
it's
function.
Very
Well,
simple.
I don't know. I don't know if I would say
There is
that.
an
I would say that
artistic. There's an artistic quest in making something that you can enjoy and also vap to at the same time.
I agree.
And
I agree.
Why does
and
my
it is
game
art.
keep going up?
I don't know. It is art, and there is artistry involved in it. And like, I have read porn that has impressed me artistically, and yet I just don't think that it can ever exist and be worthy on the same fucking level as other
Well,
stuff.
that's
Have you
wrong, and I'll
considered
tell
that
you
that
why.
might-
It just so
Okay.
happens that there is a porn that was specifically made to confront this theme of whether or not porn should be considered art or should be discussed in artistic circles. And it's a comic called Lost Girls by Alan Moore, the creator of Watchmen. And then the premise of the story is that all these public domain characters, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, Alice from Alice in Wonderland, and Wendy from Peter Pan, it's during that era of like World War I. They all meet up together in a hostel somewhere in Europe, and they get to talking, and they talk about their sexual awakenings. And the whole story is about, the stories of these characters retold through the lens of pornography, of them finding out about their sexuality and getting fucked and sucking cock, and it's these underage girls sucking cock, and that's the porn aspect, and it's hot and it's
Yeah.
sexy. But the whole reason that it was written is because Alan Moore felt like that sex is underrepresented in literature, and he felt like it should be because
I
sex
think-
it's like what is like.
No,
Even if it's just there to come, what's invalid about that? Like, coming is the most important part of human existence. It's
Yeah.
just as human as any other emotion.
I kind of agree, and like I think that like a work of fiction or like a work of prose or literature can have like explicit sex in it and be good. I don't think that makes it porn.
But it is porn. You jack
Well,
off
now
to
we're
it,
arguing
and it's
about
cool.
definitions.
If the purpose of it is to make you jack off,
The purpose of
look,
it was to have
no,
sex
listen,
in
listen.
it.
If the purpose of Lost Girls, I've heard about Lost Girls, I haven't read it. If the purpose of it is to get you off, then it's porn. If the purpose of it is to confront themes of is porn art,
Why
then it's
can't
not
the purpose
porn,
be
it's
both?
art.
Why can't it be both?
I guess, fuck,
Ben,
I guess
what-
it kind of can be
Ben,
both.
How easy is
I
it
think
for
it's just
porn?
how you're defining
for you-
porn. I have a question for Ben. Is
Yeah.
part of this resentment towards porn part of, or
Is it your
due to-
virgin rage?
Well, no, no.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go
Maybe.
there. No, is it part of like your disdain for artists who just make loads of money
Yes.
by just
Yes.
appealing
Yes.
to the lowest common denominator, slapping
Yes.
tits and making the tits bigger, and then they get millions of pounds? Is that the thing?
Millions of
Is that-
pounds.
Yes.
Millions of pounds.
See,
Yes,
for me,
it is.
you know,
Yes,
like,
that
making
makes me
something
mad,
that-
and I think it's
fat.
wrong and a sin.
Making
And a
something
crime,
that like I
and
find
everyone
hot
should
enough
be in jail.
to want to
Everyone
download
should be in jail.
is like
Everyone should be in jail. Shut up, Devu. Everyone should be in jail and in hell. Everyone should go to jail and then be put into hell jail.
you know
and
making
you know,
something that I
porn.
find hot enough to like actually want to download it is like always an exciting thing. Like, wow, this is a thing that really appeals to my interests and aesthetic sensibilities so much that I'm going to revisit it. And it's like they have so many specific tastes and interests that are like so underrepresented, and I find that finding people who actually make that product to be really exciting just as much as someone making a video game that does what I want a video game to be.
I don't even disagree with any of that, but it doesn't change how I feel.
What about,
Ben, by the way, I wanna say-
for example, Playboy has always like made it a sticking point of having tasteful nudity as opposed to porn, like hardcore pornography, which is so prevalent. And like Playboy always talks itself up as like a little bit artistic, and it kind of is. I don't believe anyone has jacked off to a Playboy since the internet was invented. It's the most unarousing, like tame. It's basically like looking at a girl's ankle at this point. But like you can rip out like if you rip out pages from a Playboy and you can plaster them all over your wall and just have, like, I have a wall of beautiful naked women. What's wrong with that? It's tastefully nude photography and it's artistic because I say it is.
Now, Ben, I
Well,
want to
this
say,
really all hinges on the definition of art. What purpose does art serve,
not
and
art,
does
the
porn
definition of
meet the
porn.
qualification?
overall,
Enough! I've held my
both.
tongue for too long. Welcome
Okay.
back to Listen Buddy, Episode 3, Sex
Yes.
Redux, with your host, Munchie Wears Tiny Hats. As you all know, I
Lay
hate
the truth
sex
bomb.
with a passion, and
Of
you
course.
will learn soon enough. Sex is gross, and I hate it with all my being. That's why I hate porn, because it makes me think about sex. I hate it so much, and you don't even know.
Are you
With
are
all
you
my
just being,
bean.
Are you just being selfish and short-sighted, Munchie? Because other people might enjoy porn.
No. I hate sex.
No?
No one can like sex. It's because it looks
Okay.
gross, and
Right.
there's
feels
like women
gross,
in
too.
it. There's women. Yeah, it feels gross. It's like not even good. It doesn't have any artistic merit, and it's not
artistic
cool.
merit thing.
I don't think people are cool who have sex. Anyone who's ever had sex isn't cool by default.
Every
Yeah.
time I go down on a woman and I get overzealous and I get way too toothy, she goes, "I hate sex with all my being."
yes.
That's
So listen,
disgusting.
you know,
Women are
overall,
gross.
I'm
I
sort
wanna
of
hear what
on the
Devu has to
same
say.
wavelength as Ben is in general with thinking of certain mediums as superior to others. Because, you know, the whole everything is art and it's all blah, 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 subjectivity, subjectivity and stuff, all that is really fascinating and really inspiring when you're like 15 learning about art and shit. By now, I'm like totally bored of all that subjectivity. Everything is relative stuff. At this point, I just have to come out and just think, video games and animation are two mediums that are a cut above the rest, and like sequential art is a cut above the rest.
No.
When
Well-
Munchie is talking about how like he's planning on like making a comic or something, I'm like, yeah, when you make a comic, you will have produced a work that is of significantly more value than any individual set of drawings that you could make. And like me myself, I'm working on like learning how to make video games because I think video games as just the most powerful medium in existence. Why would I not want to do that? Why would I be stuck just making YouTube videos?
I agree, kind of. Well, I don't agree with all of your categorizations, but I do believe that there should be a hierarchy. And you know what? I think, I honestly think that sequential art is at the top, and then like animation is below it. and then like video games are like way below that, and
What
then
a
like
surprise!
You know
the
what?
comic boy thinks that comics are the only thing that.
I know it's obvious. And then wait, no, prose is better than video games, but below animation.
This is the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard.
I don't know.
Well,
Like,
we
I mean,
shouldn't
gonna
get
be
too
us
much into
just,
the
like-
hierarchy because I have a very well-defined tier list that I will bring up.
Well, hang on. What was Hippo saying?
Well, I mean, if we're gonna just say, well, I like this one more than that one, and then just have a list, and then we're all gonna disagree. I mean, what's that gonna do?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It's
Who
gonna
gives a
be
fuck
it's
about
gonna be
that?
fun, and
But
we're gonna
these are
argue
cool.
about it. We're gonna yell.
Alright,
We're gonna
let me put
scream.
my
We're
one
gonna
at the top.
cry
I thought
about
of
it
my
for an
one.
hour
I
and a
thought of
half.
my
and
No,
favorite
are we
viewers are
done?
gonna
Are
fucking
we
love it.
done?
My favorite one is
Are we
architecture.
done with porn? Because I want to talk about porn more and how much I hate it. It's not
I
even
like,
cool.
I like really, really cool castles. I like architecture. I like
Damn
medieval
it.
architecture. That's my favorite art form. Castles are way cooler than Homestuck. I'm saying it right here, right
Architecture
now.
is the lowest.
Hey,
form of
Castles are
art.
fucking gay.
And-
They're
and-
overused. They aren't even cool. They're always like gray and like dusty. That's why I hate Dark Souls. It's my least favorite
Architecture
video
is
game ever.
pedestrian and utilitarian.
Yeah, that's the thing.
and
Dark Souls
frankly,
is
it's
only
only
cool.
one step above analysis.
Yeah.
And
Really,
Whoa, whoa,
really,
whoa.
architecture is just pornography for manual labor.
Here's the
Yeah.
fucking.
There we go.
No, but
here
here's the thing.
is
Here's the
tier list,
reason
the
Dark
official
Souls is
tier
good.
list.
Dark Souls is good.
Animation, video games, movies,
Butchie, calm
comics.
the fuck down
Shut
for a
up,
minute. Let
shut up,
Hippo
shut up.
finish his goddamn thought.
The only reason Dark Souls is good is because it evokes imagery of castles and medieval weaponry, and I really like all those things. So people who make physical, real things, 3D sculptures, architecture, that's the best. That's the
God,
coolest
no.
stuff. It's the best,
Physical
coolest stuff.
physical objects are the worst.
Physical objects are
no.
completely.
Do you
Oh my
ever
god,
just,
Ben,
like,
you are
go on
such
the
a
internet
fag.
and
Shut the fuck up and never speak to me ever again.
Physical
there's
objects
no
are
merit.
What
Physical
are you
objects are
talking about?
inherently inferior to digital and intellectual
No,
ones.
okay, all right.
Obviously,
This
obviously, Ben.
infuriates me about you fucking art fags. You're always thinking about like, oh, if I just draw all these great pictures, think about all the great things I'll be able to do. No, don't you understand that the entire purpose of art is to make real life better,
No,
to improve
no.
our actual
That's not
tangible
true,
lives?
mate.
That's
no,
the whole point.
the purpose of art is to be itself and be cool.
Yeah, art makes
I
life
like-
We're
better
gonna
I
run
like-
inherently.
against a wall. We're gonna
You know-
reach the end of that journey one day, and we're gonna say, "Well, wow, let's make some more pictures." And everyone's gonna say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about pictures
No,
anymore."
you fucking idiot.
That is
You
not
fucking,
gonna happen.
Well,
I think-
we're gonna reach the end of the journey. We're gonna be Starfleet, and then everyone's gonna be like, "There's nothing left to do.
Oh
There's
my
nothing
god,
left.
you
There's,
fucking
shut up.
idiots!
Listen,
There's
listen
no
to me.
point
listen
to
me.
life. Humanity is doomed. There's no
No,
point
no,
to anything.
no.
Art
It's
is
not true.
meaningless,
That's
just
not
like
true.
life
I
is
hate
meaningless.
fucking
The
We're
only
gonna-
meaning
hold
that it
on.
has.
We're gonna
human
we're
existence.
gonna get to the end. We're gonna be Starfleet. There's gonna be
Yeah.
nothing left to do
Yeah.
except fucking art, and it's just gonna exist for its own sake because there's
Yeah,
gonna be
but-
no other purpose that it needs to fulfill.
I like standing in a place that's really cool. Like looking at a mountain range, it's cool to be there, but it's not cool to look at a picture of. It's cool because you know how cool it is to be looking at a mountain range in real life. Feeling
You know,
that
that's
wind
funny.
on your face. Like art replicates life, right?
Yeah.
So art
A lot of
is
people like to
just
look at pictures of
derivative.
mountains,
Art
though.
is all not real. Everything that's real is cool. I like going outside. I like looking at mountains. I like seeing bricks. I like
agree.
looking at
Literally
looking
nothing
at rocks.
that is real is cool.
No, you're
Well,
right.
I agree
love,
with-
I love
I
everything
agree
that's
with that.
real.
What makes things
Never
like my
before in the
favorite shows
history of the
cool?
PCP have I felt more like I'm just in a room with insane people yelling
Well,
at
Jesse,
me.
here's the thing.
Everything
is that
that's
you
being said by
yourself
everyone
consider
is
that the-
completely insane.
like
Rocks
you
are
yourself
better than
consider
art.
the mediums
Rocks
of like
are better
YouTube
than
and
art.
critique to be like
No, rocks are
inferior
gay,
to like
rocks are
almost
gay.
all the other ones, and you dislike having to work within those mediums. Like you make the same value judgments. Like, yeah, obviously it's all relative.
No, I
There's no
don't.
medium better than the other, but like on a day-by-day basis, you know,
Yeah,
everyone has
I
these
hate
preferences.
YouTube because everyone on it sucks. That doesn't mean I don't think it can be great. YouTube can be
Okay.
just as great as any other medium. Every medium has potential to be astounding.
Yeah,
Okay.
the medium of web video is just as good as any other medium, but like the format of, for example, video game analysis or anime analysis or any form of like video criticism is inherently low and piss poor.
Well,
and
I
bad.
believe
Yes.
that criticism is not art and should never be
Yeah.
considered art.
Yes,
and
see,
should
I-
never
yeah,
be
yeah,
considered-
of course.
This is why.
Of course.
This is why I didn't give a fuck about the whole discussion of porn, really, because like what porn is like a bullshit genre of film
Agreed.
that we
Agreed.
arbitrarily have decided what defines a porn, and like as we just saw with our whole argument, like people value those things differently, and our definition can change, and it's can defy the, but none of that matters because the point is it's communicating things, and it either is going to do that or not, and then each of those ideas can be weighed for their value, or if they don't fucking accomplish anything, then obviously it's not worth
But,
having
like-
it. But like saying that like like French 19th century film about like the Alps are like that's my favorite genre. Like that's like the best art form right there. That's equally arbitrary to me as saying like porn is all whatever.
Porn is
not
far
not
more
good.
but we
prevalent
can
in
we can
culture.
fucking define. We can define what porn is.
Yes.
Like we can even though the lines can be blurred, we can say like porn is art whose purpose is to get you off. And like
Alright.
we can take that and go from there.
Ben,
I
shut the
still
fuck
think
up for a
there's a-
second and let me talk for a second. All right, okay.
Will do, sir.
All right.
You know how like movies are like they do like shit and you're like happy about it and also like you're also sad sometimes. They can make you feel different emotions. Porn only makes you feel one emotion, and if it doesn't, then it's not porn. I've decided.
You know what?
That's that.
I don't know.
I completely
You know what?
That's what I'm
disagree.
talking about with redefining things.
I feel like there's a lost art to porn. I feel like I feel like what I value in a porn is rare and might actually
Is
be
it,
art.
Is it blacks?
No, God.
I just go to blacked.com,
Fucking
dude. They
Look,
Look,
got me
I
covered.
think that like the ultimate porn would probably involve some like deeply personal emotional arc that led you through all these characters like innermost feelings and like culminated.
Yeah,
in
but
sex.
Ben, if they
That meant
made
something.
if they
But wait,
if
but
they
that doesn't
made
fucking
that,
happen.
you would just say, "Well, that's not porn then."
You're right.
Yeah, see,
You're fucking
what-
right. I would.
I think the ultimate porn is the one that most speedily and most efficiently gets you to orgasm as quickly as possible. That would be the ultimate
and
porn,
therefore,
and whatever
it's
that
cheap.
requires.
It's cheap, doesn't have any merit because it's gay.
If there was porn that made me like literally fall in love with people and then like just made me like cry tears of joy seeing them have sex with each other, I would be like, this porn is art.
But
And
even
you know,
the
there might
greatest,
be some. There might be
film
some
ever
there are
made
some
has
that
never
kind of
achieved
aspire
that.
to that. There are some that aspire to that.
But dude, even the
like,
greatest
that's not
drama-
what porn is. That's not what porn is at its core.
Even the greatest film has never achieved that for anyone ever. So
Who?
how could
Like,
porn,
crime?
a subgenre, or a small niche thing within all of film, possibly accomplish that? Like, I think you're setting your expectations way too high for what is even possible.
No. My
through
point
the
is
medium.
my point is what it aspires to, right? Like the,
Okay.
and most porn at its core doesn't try to do that. Porn at its core really just
Okay,
tries
wait
to
a
get
minute.
you off.
Every
Yeah.
single artistic medium or format is all just a set of guidelines and boundaries of what we decide that that format can be. And sooner or later, by the very nature of it, someone in that little in that box of guidelines is going to make something that pushes on those boundaries and possibly even breaks them out. So you can't just sit there and as soon as something breaks those boundaries, say that it's not that thing anymore. If it started as that thing and pushed on those boundaries, then that makes it totally just as valid as anything outside those boundaries. You fucking clods. You idiots.
It can still be valid without being the thing. It can be like it's like a similar thing, but it's not quite the thing.
But it's so easy to say that, like, I don't think that this medium is as valid as that medium, but then when this medium impresses you, you say, well, then it's not this medium anymore. That's completely recalculous and cockamamie.
I have a very
kind of
narrow definition of porn. Any sex ever. So that can be applied to any movie or comic, and I'll always be upset. And when
about
things
Game
of
Thrones?
when they leave those pure views, then I'm happy about it, and then it's
Dude,
fine
Game of
again.
Thrones literally shows you use dicks. That's porn.
Yes, yeah.
That's
So
definitely
yeah,
porn.
so
By
I
this
hate Game of
definition.
Thrones.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you see
no
Theon
one,
Greyjoy's
no
dick in
one
episode
hates
1.
sex as much as me, and I shall make it known throughout the land. I am the ultimate anti-sex crusader.
Does that make you red pilled or blue pilled? I'm just.
As we discussed before, I'm a green pill.
Munchie
right,
is
I
the
forgot.
leader. Munchie, ever since Count Graduan was defeated, Munchie is the new leader of the private villa of corrupted citizens, preventing Kristen Weston Chandler from getting laid.
Of course. And I've expanded the group's ambitions to not only Christian Weston Chandler, but to the entire universe.
You're doing God's work.
I just gotta say that I really feel like I can't relate to this whole like talking about the artistic endeavors of porn because most porn is about sex and sex is very normal. It like happens a lot, so it's really easy to justify a context for it. I seek out porn where not normal things happen, so there's a lot of like questions about how to make that like narratively occur, and so I get really excited with like, man, this is an incredible context to make this, that, and that happen all in the same narrative. God damn.
I completely get where you're coming from. All right, let me.
But does that have to
backpedal
occur in
a
porn
little
then?
bit.
Because is that related to the act of having sex?
It sounds like, well,
Let me all right, let me backpedal and be like, okay, there have been pornographic stories and materials that have like actually really impacted me and left me with a lasting impression and been like, wow, that was art. But there's been way more that have been like that has just been hot and has been like gotten me off and been been what I would consider good porn, and yet I don't think it's art, and
So
I think
it's like
that it's worthless.
porn was just an extra layer that may as well not have had. It didn't have to be there for that story to be told. It was just there.
Exactly.
No, there have been some that have done both. It has happened.
would it be smarter of us to define porn, like to use the word porn as sort of an attachment to a piece of artwork that can exist independently, or,
yeah. It's
or
not a
with
medium.
this extra label of
Porn
porn?
is obviously not a medium. It's like
I don't think so. I think
Well, see, that's what we're arguing about here.
it's much more genre.
I think it's a porn if its purpose is to get you off.
Yeah. It can be anything. It can even
It's
be
a
actual
complex thing.
sex, and I will consider it porn.
Like medium,
Yeah,
I
like-
believe
like-
used to mean literally, are you using a paintbrush or a chisel? So obviously, porn is not a medium.
Real life, for example, is a totally crass and commercial and artistically worthless work of pornography.
Of course. You guys are overcomplicating it. It just has sex, therefore it's shit.
Well, none of us
Guys,
agree with you on that.
You're all just weird Puritans. I can't believe I've been friends with you this long.
I we're arguing about artistic merit, as in what is the, like, what are, I don't even know. I don't know what art even means.
What has more artistic merit than fucking in life? Nothing.
Define art as you see it. Artistic
stuff that's
merit.
good.
What does that mean? What
art
does that
That's
mean?
good. Art
All-
is stuff that's good, and I like sex.
Hey,
That's
well,
pretty
all
good.
right. What's Jesse say then?
Anyone, if you have something that you want to create and then you create it, then you have made art.
So
and if that
you want
art,
sex and then you
we're
have it,
all
and if
that's
that
art.
art, if I watch that art and I go, "Wowee," then you've made great art, and there you go.
Holy
So,
shit, Jesse! Thank you. That was a definition
by that
I've always
definition,
come
are
with.
fruit roll-ups also art?
No,
'Cause they make me
fruit
say
roll-ups
"Wowee."
are made out of fucking like melted shoe bottoms.
I know, but I love that. That's my
Wait,
favorite.
what if,
that's my
if
favorite
two
thing.
people come together to create human beings? Is that art?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
that's,
is a human
that's building.
being art? I would say yes. The act of raising a child could be interpreted as
Raising
The
a
act of
child,
raising-
sure.
No, but
conceiving
it's the
of a
act-
child.
wait a minute,
Wait
Okay, bearing a
a
child
minute. We're getting
Oh,
off
I don't
topic.
know-
We're
I
not
don't
supposed to
know.
be talking about like what is art, because that's a nebulous fucking, it means nothing. We're talking about like the hierarchy if one exists.
Okay,
Yeah.
actually, you
And
know
I
what?
say
the
that-
guy
let's
wasn't
talk about-
even. Okay.
Let's
okay,
talk
go
about
ahead.
other things like we've touched upon like the medium of web video and whether it's valuable, and we've touched upon oh god, what was that other thing? There was some other thing that was
mountains.
brought up.
Comics were
Real
mentioned.
life.
I don't know.
Being
I guess
gay.
I've been arguing
Just
that
to
real life is
Oh,
better than
analysis,
art in
analysis
general.
and critique, and is analysis and critique art? No,
Also,
it's not.
Yes, it
architecture
is.
was-
it is
was
definitely
discussed.
art.
It's,
by
you know
the way,
what? You know what?
guys-
It's exactly like porn. Like you can have
Yep.
an analysis or a critique that has elements that are artistically valid and valuable, but the critique itself is not art.
Well, okay,
Well,
I guess
how do
if
you
critique
differentiate?
literally
Self.
just
That's
means
not true.
placing judgment on a thing, then
I
like
think
if you
what-
do it
I
with
think what you
no
mean by that is
creativity
that-
whatsoever, then it's not artistic.
think-
But you know, any review is going to be artistic on some level, so that's why it's called a
Well,
medium.
any
No,
pornography is
what-
artistic on some level. You
what
gotta
I
like,
think-
where do you put the camera? What music do you put over it, etc.,
There's this
etc.
general sense of, if a medium is largely bullshit, then it's lower on the hierarchy, because like porn,
Sure.
a lot of porn is shit, a lot of reviews are complete garbage, but there's a few that are good, so like the medium itself is fine, all the mediums
No.
are like fine.
No, it's
Well,
not what
how?
I'm saying. I think that it's not about it's not just that most of it is bad. I think that it is inherently less valuable.
Yeah,
porn,
I agree.
right?
When I watch a really
Yeah,
great
porn
anime,
and criticism
Yeah.
both. This is true of both of these things.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? We should-
Because
we
the
should frame
idea
this.
of them
Okay,
just
go ahead,
isn't good.
yeah,
And
when I
it
watch
I think
some
we
sort
should
of
frame this.
animation,
We should
I
frame
think
this.
it's
I think
great.
it
I'm like,
makes a lot more sense. We're going deep, but it makes a lot of sense when you view it from the way that Ben was initially talking about it. Like, there are people out there who make tons of money drawing porn, and then there are people who make, like much more. I just like there's much more thought put into like your average comic of X amount of length than just like a picture of a porn that is drawn with great
Like
technical
I drew a monster
skill.
girl. She has big tits and a big dick. Give
Yeah,
me
and yet that person
$100,000.
is rewarded more by society in the form of they get more money
Don't even get me
than the
started on
person
the cultural
making a comic.
impact of porn, as opposed to just
Well,
the
that's-
porn itself.
Well, that's the whole thing. The artistic mediums that we think are crap is the question. So it's about our
I
perception
don't know.
of
I just think
you know.
that medium is. It's just a way of expressing yourself, and you have preferences depending on who you are and what you
man.
like.
I'll
Here's what
So
I
I
think
feel like
about.
there's no inherent anything of a
Here's
medium
here's what I
itself.
think about criticism. I think that aside from any other like artistic considerations or additions to a work of criticism, the criticism itself derives all of its value from an existing work of art being criticized. Therefore, it
All of
can't.
it? I don't
yes,
know. I disagree
The criticism
entirely.
itself, yes. Therefore, it can't ever be as valuable as the work of art from which it derives
Okay,
its value. It has.
totally
shut up,
disagree.
it has to be inferior.
No.
Listen, Ben, listen to this great example right here. I forget what, but there was some movie, you'll probably know the name of this. There's some movie that was made, it was like a Hollywood movie, it was a complete bust. Everyone working on it got fucked over, and nobody liked it. But a documentary
Maybe you've heard of it.
was
Its name
made.
was Star Wars.
there was a documentary made about this film that I can't remember the name of that is like much more celebrated of a piece of art that was about the making of this film that details like the crazy experiences that were had by the people trying to
Was
make
it Troll
that
2?
people it's very similar to that. I think it's a different movie, but it's
Wait, are you
similar to
talking
that
about the-
I
situation.
have
Are you
seen the
talking
documentary
about-
about the making of
Then
Troll
it's not
2.
documentary.
Like
on
the
the movie
artistic
itself
value
and critiquing
of this
the actual movie.
no
Yeah,
the artistic
that Munchie's
value
right. That is not a criticism of the movie.
Yeah, hey,
it is in part. That is
here's
one of the
my-
things that's what it started out as.
Yeah, but
Hey,
now we're talking
hey.
about all the other stuff that's ancillary to the actual criticism.
Here's how
That's
I
like
put it.
saying that
Here's
you
my
can't add anything
goddamn
to a criticism other than just the criticism
analogy.
of the piece, which
That's
is obviously
exactly
not
what
true.
I said. That is
That's not
exactly
true.
what I
You
said.
people.
Nate.
Specifically in the case of Sonic the Hedgehog, a series where
God damn it, DeVille, we're not talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. We're talking about this other
It's
example. We can
another
get back to
example,
Sonic
you
the
idiot,
Hedgehog.
Nate. Let him speak.
about has resulted in lots and lots of amazing reviews and analysis from which I derive so much enjoyment. And indeed, all of the criticism that franchise has seen, it all comes from details present in the games themselves. If you want to use a metaphor, you could say it's like cooking raw ingredients that have these like flavors that are trapped inside of them that you couldn't just eat right off the shrub. You wouldn't be able to get the enjoyment. But when processed correctly by a critique, it draws out those ingredients. And that's
I think Ben might
would
argue.
say, stuff
That's something that was
similar.
in the original piece, though.
Stuff, similar stuff like the huge analysis of the Uncharted series is much more entertaining than playing any of the Uncharted games.
Yes.
At least the first one. And also, the Game Grumps Let's Play of Sonic 06 is obviously
Right.
much more
Much better.
entertaining than playing the game.
right. And it's like, would
So
you
like
say like
derivative
obviously?
things
Right,
can be
right.
better than the original.
Obviously-
Well, I don't know. I think there's
and
something
that-
misguided. I think there's something misguided about trying to argue this on the basis of
Okay.
you can make a good criticism of a bad game. Like that doesn't really
but that's
seem to
true.
be answering the
I
question.
have solved this dilemma about
Okay.
critique and criticism, and everyone needs to not say a single goddamn word until I finish making this point. We're all talking about critique and criticism as though it has lower value as art than other art, but the fact is, critique and criticism should not be considered art, and therefore its worth is irrelevant to this conversation. And also, fucking, the way I see
Well, I
it,
agree.
I disagree.
it's...
I agree that it's not art. I agree that
Shut
it's
up.
not art.
You can't disagree
Sorry.
yet because the point is not finished being made.
Okay, all right.
I thought you
okay.
finished. I thought you finished.
I thought so too.
Rather than seeing critique and criticism as artistic mediums, we should see them as what they are, which is artistic tools. They are not art, they are tools to make art with. Every work of art has some element of criticism or critique or satire already in it as part of its creation. So talking
Yeah.
about criticism as though it's a medium of art unto itself is misguided and flawed and stupid, because critique and criticism is essentially a paintbrush or a pencil. It's just another tool to make art with.
Okay. Yeah.
I suppose it's an issue of
okay,
degrees.
with that, would you say that, wrestling isn't wrestling? That's a YouTube video.
That's a man
of YouTube
making
videos.
art with the tool of critique.
Yeah. So would the medium be a film or a YouTube video or something? What would you call that?
All of, I mean, like any
short film?
great analysis video that you've seen, like Matthew Matosis, he's just making he's making art with the tool of critique.
Nice.
If I
Now-
make if I
That makes
make
some sense. That makes some
if
sense.
you make a parody of something or a satire of something, you're making your own work of art with your critique of another thing.
I agree
So
with
the
this.
the art itself is the video that's being made. The critique is just something you're using to make the video.
Yes.
Just a part
I agree with
of
this,
the
but-
video and not the whole.
I guess the way to differentiate videos from one another is to use genres.
So
and
I just-
analysis would also be a genre
Yeah.
of video. In
My
which you
point
use
is, I just
critique.
don't think
Yeah.
that it's relevant or fair to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the hierarchy idea is fair in general, but to put like critique and criticism like at the bottom of the hierarchy is not fair because it shouldn't be even in the hierarchy at all. It's a tool.
Well, what's funny is that,
Yeah.
like, well, to devil's advocate this, as I said a little bit ago, that originally, like, medium meant what tools you used. Like, the medium of a painting versus a sculpture. So, like, you know, anyway, I actually agree entirely with your point based on the current definition of medium, but I just figure some people are going to be pedantic about that.
Well, that's fair. So it's like saying that, like, if I am a landscape painter, and I make the best landscape paintings I can, and you know people like them or they don't. That's one thing. But then if fucking Ben Saint, landscape painting critic, waltzes by my booth at the local art shack.
Landscape convention.
Yeah, the landscape convention, and he is a YouTuber who makes videos in which he analyzes landscape paintings. That is like a whole different medium that should obviously not be directly compared to me as a landscape painting creator. Those are two very different types of art that are
all
being
They
types-
are
created
very
there.
different.
All,
Well,
all
yeah, they're-
mediums
yeah,
are
that's-
completely different. There's
No, but they're not different in the same way. Like a painting and a work of prose are both, you know, they're both aspiring
Well,
to create.
can you compare a sculpture to a video game?
Yeah,
I think you
In
can.
some ways,
I
in
think
some
you
ways.
can.
In
I
many
think you
ways.
can
Then
more
why
than
can't
you
you
can
compare
compare a
fucking-
criticism to a book.
It's just gonna be hard. It's just gonna be really state your case that like the Venus de Milo is a better piece of art than Undertale. You know, whatever. Like you know, you can make.
I think you
but
can argue that. I think you can fucking
yeah,
argue
I
that.
agree.
The thing that we just discussed is that critique is not an art form. It's the medium in which you're explaining your critique
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the art
Well, now
form.
we're
So
defining-
if you're making a YouTube
Yeah, okay.
video, you can compare a YouTube video critiquing something else because it's a video. It's a thing in itself. It's part of a
Right.
Well,
You know.
anyway,
Yeah.
obviously this
and I think
whole...
and I think it would come up short because what it amounts to is criticism, which is not artistically
But if
on the
it
same
has,
fucking
like,
wavelength.
Yeah, but it's a video, which means it can have more than criticism in it. It can have visuals
So, you know-
and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
gonna be really good.
yeah,
it could be
it
the best
can.
video you've ever seen. So like, there's no.
Sure.
You're
there's
right,
no
you're
way
right.
to
and
If
say
it is-
therefore
it
it's
has
not
a
the
cap on how
criticism
good it
that
can
you
be.
like or that you.
So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is this
There
is
we go.
why. And
It's
going
not
back,
the criticism itself, that's the art.
Right, and going back to it, like a porn, as in a film with sex for the viewer's sexual gratification, can in fact be the best art piece in it because that porn element is one element of it, and therefore, as we've just discussed, it can have other elements as well that may elevate, it may synchronize
what,
with the
though?
porn elements.
I actually think that I would say that the porn part is art, whereas the criticism isn't. Like I think that like the sex part is like it's more comparable to other art than criticism is.
We need to make sure we understand the difference between a tool used to create art, a medium of art. Like
Yeah.
if everything is a tool to use to make a video, like the camera, the lighting, the people having
Sony
sex,
Vegas.
the size of the penis, is that a tool in creation
is.
of the porn?
It
yeah,
is.
like
Yeah, I
all
guess
those
so.
things, criticism. If those all go into a video, are we arguing what tools are better than others, or whether videos are better than music or whatever? What are we arguing here?
Like the current definition of medium is the delivery method. Like if you were to print out all of the assembly code for Super Mario World onto paper, it would no longer be a video game, though it would technically be the same work, made with the same tools plus a printer.
I'm lost.
Well, anyway,
I
the
understand
argument
the
is
food, yeah.
over because video games are the best medium because they have all the other mediums, but also interactivity.
That's
argument
dumb.
Over,
There's no
I win.
best medium. That's ridiculous.
Totally disagree.
Time to get into my hierarchy of mediums, where I have very
You know
clearly
what?
well-defined
Hey,
goods and
it's
bads.
time for me. No, it's time for me to bust out my fucking fallacy. I'm gonna bust out the fallacy of saying that Davu is wrong because he agrees with someone who is bad. You know who else thinks that
does he
same
agree with?
exact thing?
Who's that?
Fucking Phil Fish, Davu. So therefore you're wrong because I've associated you with a bad person.
What's
I
that?
win.
Guilty by association fallacy, I believe. Right?
I've done
Something
it.
Like that?
I've succeeded.
Every
I
single
don't know
time
what
I've
it's
heard
called.
people talk about like these terrible Phil Fish quotes, I'm like, this guy is hilarious. This guy kicks ass.
Yeah, no,
So,
but
yeah.
there-
Phil
Video
Fish,
games
Phil
are the
Fish
best.
literally says in Indie Game the movie that video games are the ultimate medium because it's all the other mediums plus interactivity.
Yeah.
He literally says
Well, of
that.
I
course,
mean, that
Davu
doesn't-
likes them. They have the same stupid facial hair.
They do.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't agree with that sentiment logically. It just like emotionally, it makes perfect sense to me. Because like that's why I like video games the most. It's like, you know, when
I don't agree because interactivity can come between an artistic message as easily as
Yeah,
it can.
well, things
add
can
to it.
come
that's the
between things
thing,
in
'cause,
porn, too.
Some games can use the interactivity to make it better. Some games have an interactivity because it's a game, which makes the experience worse than if you're just watching it.
Yeah, it's
Well,
true.
So there's games that can.
It's-
I
use
disagree.
use
I
interactivity.
I want someone
Interactivity
to
itself
I want
is another
someone to
tool.
program The Godfather with like cutscenes where like you push like QuickTime events to make the scene continue.
You
That would be
can't, like,
way better.
Interactivity is another
No.
tool.
You can't like
Interactivity is another
mathematically
tool, but-
say that a medium is better than others because it comprises elements of those other mediums. The best work of art in any medium is better than all the mediocre works of art in every other medium.
Yeah, I know. I know you're right, Jesse. I just don't want to quit being mad.
Well, okay, we've been
I think
talking
that's
about
the theme
this a
of
lot.
this entire episode, actually.
starting
just
from the
don't
top
wanna
and
We all
stop
know
going
being
Jesse's
down.
right.
It's animation, video
I
games,
just want to
movies,
hear
comics,
Munchie's list.
a
Wait,
mu- a
Munchie,
mu-
start over, please.
Okay,
Start over.
from the top,
Okay.
and then going down: animation, video games, movies, comics, music, books, and then
So
I,
books-
I
I
agree
would
with
put-
that enough. I would go.
I
Are
would put
books, are
music-
books even above 0, or are they under the 0 level?
I
at
would
the
say
bottom
they're
there?
or
They do more damage than good.
Sculpture is below book.
Oh.
I'm gonna
I
go
would
with
put-
video
So is
games,
individual paintings and drawings.
Okay,
below
video
book.
games,
So
then
number one was
animation,
animation,
then
though, right?
sequential art, then live action film, then music, then books. Actually, I'd probably put music above live action film. And I sort of think of YouTube videos as sort of like its own like 0th place. It's like I don't care about it as much as any of the others, and yet I care about it more than any of the others. It's like its own dimension.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't actually want to hear everybody's. 'cause
I
that
want to
would be
say
boring.
mine. I want to say that sequential art and prose are at the top. I would say that animation is underneath both. I
Prose
think
is
music
Why
like
is
the
literally
fuck would you
worthless.
put animation below comics? How can you
I
defend
have my
that?
reason because it's gay. Music is at the
okay.
very bottom.
Music
and
is at the very bottom.
yeah, for some that I just
Okay.
feel that. I
All
just
right.
feel that in my heart, and so
All
I'm
right.
gonna go with
I-
it uncritically.
I would like to say that when I say sculpture, it's not just like things in museums and whatever. It's just like the feeling of being in the presence of something physical and real, which no other
What
art
the
thing has.
fuck?
Yeah, Ben's talking about all this 2D bullshit that isn't even real.
Well, okay.
Oh,
thing is,
no!
I like-
You know what? You know what? Actually, that's not sculpture and individual paintings and drawings are the worst.
Are the
Yeah,
worst.
yeah,
Okay.
I agree with that.
I just want to
Yeah.
say
Because I can't
that
upload those to my SoundCloud account,
is-
so there's
No, you know
therefore
what?
they're
You know what?
useless.
True art, the highest form of art has an emotional arc to it, and a static image. I mean, I guess it can have an emotional arc to it,
But
but it
sucks.
usually doesn't.
It's
This
But it
whole-
doesn't lend itself to the having of an emotional arc. Same with the
All right.
sculpture.
This whole
Whereas
conversation
music
in
can.
the presence
Music
of
can have an
something
emotional
is
arc to it, and therefore it's
always
better.
This whole
like-
conversation is completely insane. There's no hierarchy. Every
feel like
artistic
I am
medium has the same amount of prestige and value, which is no prestige and value. The mediums themselves have no goddamn value. The works of art within said mediums are what have the goddamn value. This whole conversation is goofy.
Well, the reason why
He's right.
I like to hierarchy things like this is because it helps me in making decisions as to what media I want to consume and also create and also promote. It just makes for quick, easy shorthand. It makes it very convenient for me.
I don't agree with that because I don't actually want to consume any works of art, even in the mediums that I purport to like. So,
Well,
it's all fucking
all right,
moot
there you
to
go.
I
me.
don't have a hierarchy. I think.
Good, then
everything's
you're
as good
a
as
reasonable
everything else.
person.
I just wanted to explain that I like being in physically around stuff rather than looking at a screen. That's just generally my preference. I don't know.
I think most of the art I consume is manga. But
That's good. That's high tier. That's
That
high
is
tier.
high
You're
tier
doing it
for
right.
me. Hooray for me! I'm glad I'm on your tier
Now-
list
Actually,
up high.
that's around mid tier.
Well, you know what? You know what it is. You know what it is. You know
Higher
why I put animation below sequential art
Why is
is
that?
because okay. You can communicate like a little more through animation. You can communicate stuff in a moving picture than you can in a static one, but not enough
Right.
more to justify like the fucking like the amount of extra work that it
Oh,
takes.
so now
That
it's
makes sense,
it's an
yeah.
equation you have to do of effort input
Yes.
versus what you're able to get.
No,
even
listen,
though
listen,
you can
the
get
work
more
it
out
takes
of
to
it.
do something and how much money it costs, it doesn't matter to the art whatsoever.
No, that's true.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Okay, that's true. Fuck
No.
shit. Damn it.
There goes your,
No, I
your
agree.
master
Hey,
plan.
you know, I
Fuck,
would
man.
say that, like, yeah, animation is like it has to like its sense of time has to be more realistic, which can be good. But you know, when something is sequential art, it can like tell stories with a specific kind of pace that doesn't have to make complete considerations for the sense of time. Digi actually has an old video about this called "The Problem with Adapting Shonen Fight Manga," where it's like the problem with pacing in so much anime is that manga isn't written to like make sense with time, and that's a power that sequential art has. It can just sort of exist in this nether realm of time.
Yeah, that's an advantage. I acknowledge that. That's true. Though I think you probably could animate it.
You know,
I don't know. You have
it
control.
wouldn't take too much to just make a brand new medium by just changing a few of the rules of any given thing that already exists.
Well, like there's only so many senses that you can appeal to at once.
No, I
mean we could
like,
add smell-o-vision.
The way that
Suppositories.
like animation
That-
and film.
that's not smell, though.
They all have like rules. They have like things they need.
Uh-huh.
They need money. They need to be on TV. They need to be made for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just take a medium and fuck it up, like that book that's like all fucked up. You know that one, the House
Yeah.
of Leaves or whatever.
House of Leaves. Yep.
That's a book. That's not really a book. You can just make it.
It's a
It's a book.
Well, guys,
I know your point though.
I have actually been lying this entire
Uh-oh.
podcast
Oh.
Yes.
because
Is that the kayfabe commander?
because
Is that you?
there is a specific medium of art that I detest so much that I
Oh,
view
no.
it as having inherently less value than any other artistic medium.
Is it?
And that
I don't know.
medium
What is-
is slam poetry.
Yep.
Now,
I've
I
never
don't
I wanna
actually
been a slam
know
clarify-
what
poet. I
defines
like.
slam poetry.
I'll define it for you, and I'll clarify that I think that poetry itself is invaluable as art. Poetry
Are you?
is demonstrably valuable. It's
But as a rapsman, I thought you would be sort of in tune with your poetic side.
slam
and
poetry
the
is not
values
rap.
of
Slam
it.
poetry is a perversion of poetry and rap. It's like you took the worst aspects of rap and poetry and combined them into one into one depressing stew with a disgusting, toxic brew that turns you into a
that
pussy.
video, I hate
Here's what-
religion, but I love Jesus. That's
Oh,
slam
I'm gonna
poetry,
get to
right?
that. Yeah, that's what slam poetry is. Poetry, which is fine, which is beautiful. It's art. There's plenty of room to you can make a man cry with a good poem.
course.
Someone writes a poem, but that's not good enough for them. They have to get up and they have to speak this poem with all the bad acting power they can possibly muster to try to force an emotion into you by way of their voice yelling it at you. And they put it on YouTube. They put some cheesy some public domain music behind them to make it seem more inspirational. And they just recite their bad poetry, but they recite it in this arrogant, aggressive, pseudo-intellectual, pompous, pretentious way that's just, this is my poetry, and you will love my poetry, and you have to feel something because I'm smart. There's this one motherfucker on YouTube who he does this slam poetry shit about Christianity and God and shit. He's hugely popular. He's got he's on Facebook all the time. He gets shared by everyone's crappy religious relatives every day on Facebook. He's just this dweeby fucking, this douchey looking motherfucker with a buzz cut. He looks like fucking the main character from the Assassin's Creed games. Not any of the assassins. I mean the guy who's sitting in the fucking the animus, that
Right.
fucking loser. He looks like that guy, and he stands in front of like some government building in like a hoodie with like the color saturation way down, so it looks like it's like a gray, a sad day, and he's just brightening
Depressing.
your life with these words of wisdom. And he stands there and he starts talking about Jesus. People don't believe in God anymore. Well, I don't believe in people who don't believe in God, because Jesus came to take my sins and make me, and it's like, shut up! You're ruining poetry, you're ruining rap, you're ruining human discourse, you're even fucking ruining religion, you stupid, smug, pretentious motherfucker. I hope you get crucified, you faggot!
I hate to be nitpicky, but is this... It sounds a little bit like it's criticizing, you know, like, I don't know, like new metal for being like a shitty version of a particular genre of music.
But new
well,
metal's
is that wrong?
objectively
Is that
great.
wrong?
Hey, I don't know about slam poetry on YouTube. I don't know about that. But I will say that I have been severely annoyed by poetry that I have heard. Like, at parties that I have been to, where, like, someone there is a poet, and, like, they've, like, read their poetry out
Jesus
in
Christ.
a fucking thing. Yeah. I have been severely annoyed by the way in which so much poetry that people write and that read and that they take so much pride in just sounds like it was written for the purpose of sounding like poetry. And it's all delivered in this very quote unquote poetic way.
Yeah.
And it's just like a series of lofty and evocative images, like, you know, with some kind of
it's like
emotional
this
thing
just
to it.
add water poetic
Yeah,
cadence that's like it's like
Yeah.
it's
It's like they're doing it just because they think it's supposed to be that
it's
way.
like it's
And,
like
being-
bag cereal depth.
Yeah.
Can there
And,
be
like,
no
I
good
listen-
slam poet, though?
I listen to a poet, I listen to someone reading their poetry like that, and I think, doesn't this fucker know that art is meant to engage the audience? And, like, I'm sitting here being bored out of my mind by this cookie cutter bullshit you've written, and I feel like no
Yeah.
effort has
And
been made
it's-
to engage me, the audience, which is what it's supposed
and it's never
to do.
even like clever. Like it's never cleverly put together. There's no clever like structure or rhythm or wordplay to it.
It has to-
It's always
right,
just,
none
and
of-
it's not even like clever like topics. It's always like my dad beat me, or I'm a feminist and here's why, or I love Jesus
know,
and here's why.
There's no attempt
It's
to
just
fucking,
the corniest
shake it up and, like,
motherfuckers.
surprise.
The corniest
like,
motherfuckers
there's no
shoving
surprise
their
to
beliefs
it.
down your.
You know what?
I hate it.
There has to be something in there that will, like, surprise me,
You know,
or else
what
why
this
did I
sounds to
bother
me
listening
like?
to
You know
it?
what this sounds to me like? It sounds like these people have been doing this, and they have been told that their performance is sufficient for the effect they're trying to achieve of connecting to the audience. When actually that was people just telling them that it
know
was
what?
sufficient. When actually it's clearly not.
Yeah,
and
these
then,
are complaint, like, people that write this kind of cookie cutter
Yeah.
poetry that you hear at any fucking bullshit party of some
Mm-hmm.
assholes getting together and reading their shit. They're just
Here-
complacent.
here's what it
and
is.
they're just not trying hard enough.
Here's what
Yep.
it is to me. It's
It
like
reminds me of YouTubers a lot.
a good poem does not ever need to be spoken to someone. You read a poem and you feel something if it's if it's a good poem, if it's a good point or it's well put together, you can just read it. If you have to if you have to audibly force an emotion into the audience, then you have not written a good poem. You've written a bad poem and you should be ashamed of yourselves.
You know what? I got a poem for you guys. Tell me. I know this. See, this is what a good poem is, and you're gonna resonate with this. Okay, here we go. This is called Malia's poem. Dear Dad, dear President, 24/65, always on the job. Wait, who's that woman? And where's
Nate,
Mom? Malia.
fuck.
That's it. That's the whole poem.
You say all of it.
There you go. That's the important part. That's my favorite part.
Bitch. Making
I
You
don't
fun
see,
get it.
it's the best. Oh well.
I don't get it.
It's Obama's daughter, you
disrespecting
idiot.
This Listen Buddy episode with your crass derivative artwork that doesn't have any
it was a reference
value
to
outside
a
of just
sick
referencing
animation
another video.
Well, I didn't say I
It's
wrote
like
it. Now,
this.
did
Your
I?
art piece down.
And I'm not saying that reading a poem invalidates the poem. I'm saying that if a poem has to be read to have value, then it's not a good poem. Like no one would ever read that Jesus guy's poems and think they were deep unless you were like already a religious moron. So never mind.
Mm-hmm.
But like for example, I've done like open mic and I've read poems that I've written. Most of my, the poems that I there's a video of me doing it, but like the poems that I had written to recite there were like meant to make people laugh, and like each line was a little punchline, and like, who invented the fart? He must have been awfully smart. It's hard to define what a glorious time we have in the flatulence starts. That's just like it's just people just hear that and they chuckle. It's just like a little belly laugh. Like a little belly laugh limerick, and that's fine. Or like the poem that I wrote about the newlyweds, and they're both gross. And I'm just like describing like gross people fucking, and each line makes people laugh. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like the pseudo deep, pretentious, fucking my father beat me, and I'm a feminist who believes in Jesus too much kind of like.
Yeah.
With the inspirational music, the inspirational music is what gets me the most. It's so fucking transparent.
I hate all inspirational music all the time.
But you use it all the time in your videos.
I make it
snap.
inspirational by the way I use
Oh, snap.
it. It's
got
me
him.
with the. I'm the one who supplies the inspiration, not the music. But anyway,
Let's talk about how
In fact, I'm the
books
one
are
making the
shit.
music inspirational when I put music in my videos.
No.
Without
Books are not
without
shit.
my
I agree.
words,
Books are
the
high
music
tier.
would just be
Books
music.
are the lowest tier.
God damn
Books
it,
are the
that's
highest
ridiculous.
tier.
Books are fucking. How can you?
Books are pure.
great.
Books are artistically pure.
How can you not place value on like the inherent unique intonation and rhythm of the written word by various different authors?
dude, it's obvious. Because fucking Munchie can't read. That's what it is.
Well, you can't fucking speak, bitch.
I just got it right. I fixed myself.
Yeah, okay.
I
yeah,
got my
right.
head
I
right.
bet.
First of all, as
Okay.
we
Bet you got
said,
it right.
we've been talking about mediums as the modern definition of them is partly it comes down to like the means by which the information is delivered to the consumer. And Jesse himself has a video criticizing heavily the medium with which prose is usually delivered to the consumer in the form of a book that you can't really hold in any one position that will be
Yeah, but
comfortable
that
for like more
video's
than 5
retarded.
minutes.
It should never be taken seriously by anyone.
Hey, who's the one who
Look,
made
like,
that video?
obviously physical media is terrible, but like
Yeah.
what a book is getting to you, like the prose contained within a book is artistically pure, and prose and the written word is like it's the most efficient way of fucking taking some intellectual idea or concept or
efficiency.
opinion you
Hang on.
have and fucking communicating it to an audience.
Hang on
And it's beautiful.
Hang on
Yeah.
a cotton picking minute.
That's
No.
racist.
It's, no,
That's
no,
racist.
it's not prose. Is not prose a tool then? Because you can use prose to write scripts for videos.
Exactly.
And write
That's
everything
what
else.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
fucking say.
What?
So-
Fuck off. What are you talking
Prose
about? It's not the
itself
same.
The way
without
you consume a book
visual
is different.
assistant is worthless because if you
Prose
add,
is a
if you
medium.
add a
Critique
visual
is not a
element,
medium.
Then it's
Yeah,
perfect.
we know critique is not a
Visual
medium.
is inherently
But however, like,
better
if you put a critique
than
in a
Visual
word.
is good.
Ben, if you put a critique as a book, a physical book or a digital
Yeah.
book or whatever, and it is
Yeah.
a critique of something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tool is critique.
Yeah, you,
You know,
use the
Ben-
tool of critique in your
And the
fucking
medium
prose.
is
There you go.
the medium is a book. It's not prose, because prose you can fucking.
What do you mean it's not prose?
Ben,
Well,
if
I
you
don't
love
know.
prose so
Writing?
much, why don't you go start the
Words,
Prose
language?
Crastinators? Got him.
Oh boy.
The reason why that
genius.
whole
Yeah.
how video games encapsulate all the other mediums and that's why it's the best. It's because when you're reading a book, it's like I'm only the reading part and like there's only certain parts of my brain that are being energized by
Davoo,
this.
a
When
fucking-
you're playing a video game,
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
your
that's
senses
dumb.
are being done. They're
Every-
all
That's
getting
gay.
used.
Not necessarily
Yeah,
bad.
I agree with that.
Come on.
I have a problem
No, no,
reading.
no, no.
I have a problem reading books. I know it's probably stupid to say this out loud, but I can't pick up a book and read it. It's too hard.
Here's
too,
why I'm
Nico, me too.
retarded
That's
and
not
Jesse's
why-
been
that's
right.
not why it's bad.
Here's why
I wanna
here's
hear
why I'm
this.
retarded and Jesse's been right all along.
Wait, let me cut
Okay.
in real quick.
No, I need to hear this.
No.
It's important.
It's all right. Like sure, yeah, like there's there's more tools to use in a video game, and like comics have art in addition to prose, so they're better. But what it really comes down to is that like good or great art is made for its medium, and if you make a work that just takes the medium you're using and wrings every bit of meaning and feeling and value out of it, then you've got a great work of art. And it doesn't matter that like prose is a more limited work or a medium than sequential art. Like if you have fucking used it to its fullest extents, then you've made a great work of art, and so obviously all mediums are fucking
Yes,
the
Jesse
same.
was right.
Makes sense.
Ben
That's
admitted
what
it.
I've
Yeah.
Jesse
been
was
saying
right,
also.
everybody. The day has finally come when fucking everyone admits that I'm right and always have been about everything. The fucking confetti, the balloons
Yeah,
are coming
anyone-
down from the ceiling. I was right twice in this podcast. I was right about everything that I said about every artistic medium. They're all having the same value. And I was also right about slam poetry having even less value. Somehow I was right about both of those. I was right about both things somehow, even even though they contradict
That's
each other,
why-
it doesn't
Well,
matter.
right as well.
That's why I
'cause
didn't get into
also
the whole
didn't
hierarchy
have a
thing.
hierarchy. I didn't give anything.
Me neither.
There's no
We're smart boys.
there's no hierarchy,
physical things.
but slam poetry is still at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Being
And
yeah,
that's
we
what I
can
call
agree
a
on that.
slam dunk of an argument that no
Hey,
one
you
can
know-
fucking topple.
It's. I just noticed that after I asked for questions on Twitter at TP Crastinators, one of the first ones was our friend Mumke, who at Mumke Away, who asked the question: "Is analysis an art form?" So he's still on this
we've
topic, and it
thoroughly,
has
we've
been
thoroughly
addressed.
gone into that
That's
topic
right.
Wow, it's
here today.
obviously not one.
Well,
No,
he can.
it's
He
a
just
tool, it's
just
not an
listen
art form, we
back.
got it.
I don't care to repeat all that shit again. Okay, I think we're done. Let's
no,
go to
no,
questions.
what,
yeah.
What the, what, no,
We've
no,
only been
no.
going for like 45
no,
minutes.
I just said let's go to questions.
An hour.
Thoroughly analyzed analysis as well as Jesse's inspirational rightness about all things. I think we can move
Right.
on to questions now.
I know.
All
I
right,
still
thank
want to talk
God.
about how much I hate books. I have a
Look,
whole
we
thing
get it,
about how much I
dude.
hate books.
Munchie,
I want to hear it. I want to hear
Summarize
it.
it. Summarize it.
I'll
Okay.
give- Let's give him
Because
a
I
few
like
minutes.
looking at like colors, and books usually aren't in colors, and they're like black and white, and they're like hard to look at, and they're like
No,
gay.
you know
Munchie,
like,
what about
drawings aren't
coloring
gay,
books?
They're straight.
what about coloring
what about
books?
Coloring books.
No!
Jesse's right again.
Dude.
That's 3.
No!
That's a hat
You know
trick.
what? I kind of agree that books are hard to look at. I like books that have, like, at the beginning of the chapter, they have a nice little image, and I'm like, that's nice. And then I continue reading.
That's because drawings are better than words. That's true. You're right.
Yeah, no, it's
You
nice to
did
have
it.
a mixture. It's nice to have a mixture of both.
Nope,
That's
you were
why
right the
physical
first
books are
time.
pretty-
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
you did it. Woo!
I love coloring books. I love
Okay.
coloring books. They're so good. I love adding red.
I love
and blue.
coloring books. They
and
make me
green.
feel smart because I'm 3 years old.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. There
All
you
right,
go.
go. I hate this. Yeah.
All right, let's go to some questions here. Hopefully, we'll find some that aren't retarded. Now, remember, everybody, send us questions all the
Did you
time.
mean to say art retarded, or did you mean to say art related?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
What? I said,
said
art
art retarded.
What?
You said art retarded.
Well, I didn't. Whatever I said, make it the good one. That's what I intended to say.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, everybody, make sure you ask us questions at TP Crastinators on Twitter.
Everybody
Wait,
remember, don't
okay.
be
Before we
retarded.
do that,
What?
before we do that, we should mention that this podcast, this PCP, is now on Patreon.com. It has.
Oh,
I
its
was
yeah.
own
going to say that at
Patreon.
the
This,
end, but
this,
yeah,
this
yeah.
week, this week
Oh,
we're
boy.
putting up the Patreon. That's
I
right.
remember, no,
Yes.
you're underplaying this, guys. Huge announcement, everybody!
All right.
There is
Huge.
in the description a link to the Pro Crastinators podcast Patreon link. We're doing
Right.
a thing
Go
where
fucking
all of our
there.
main weekly episodes like this, or perhaps the drawcasts when we do them, or the races, any of our main PCB content
Yeah,
is going to be
not-
added to that
We
Patreon.
got to stretch that. We're definitely not putting the podcast on there. Do not worry. Do not worry about
Yeah,
that.
it's
That's not
it's
going
only
on
gonna
there.
be like major PCP group
Events.
things like this
Yeah.
main
Right.
podcast and
The drawcast
yeah, so if you want
and
us
races.
So basically, if you like hearing us talk, but you hate all of us individually and all of our individual
Right.
creative endeavors, you don't have to
Yeah.
pay for that bullshit. If you just
can-
want to
and
pay
you know,
you can
I've
now-
seen people. I've seen quite a few
You
people
can-
wanting to give money directly to
You can
PCP.
now-
and
you can
I'm-
now
Word,
support
word
the
on the
pod-
street is, oh, flutter. Oh, look at this little fucking bird. It's dead now, but look, it had a message.
What? Okay.
If you donate amount of money that I forgot, you're gonna get in your little inbox. You're gonna open it like, whoa, fucking, what's in here anymore? Procrastinators content. It's a fucking bonus. It's a bonus episode. It's a bonus episode.
Oh, that's right. At the
Oh, right.
yeah.
bonus episode.
monthly
At
bonus
the
bonus episode.
$5
Can
at the
you-
$5 Patreon amount, you get access to
Can you-
extra episode of PCP.
That's fucking
every
more
fucking
content
month.
than you
God
can
damn
literally
it.
even suck. That's
And-
like more
and-
Is
content
it one?
than you can
Is it
even
is
suck.
it is it one a month? Is it one extra per month?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
we're
the
gonna
deal?
do
Yeah,
one a month. We're gonna do
bro.
one a month. And this
I
is
ju-
in no way. This is just an extra thing that we're going to do to get people to give us money.
And there's
So we can do this shit.
there's a hugely important factor that needs to be said. This is not replacing any of our own Patreons. If I hear of one goddamn one
Oh,
of you
God.
motherfuckers who unpledged to any of us to pledge to the PCP, then we'll shut it all down. We'll shut the whole thing down. If you
Yeah.
We might.
don't you dare
That
unpledge
would
to
be
me.
horrifying.
No one unpledge from anyone.
Yeah, I mean, we would really prefer that this be a secondary concern. I think after our individual ones.
I
Unless
would
it's to
just
me, in
like
which
to
case
say
just do
that,
that.
like the money from the Patreon is gonna be divided amongst the members based on like how many appearances they make in the podcast.
Right.
So like Yeah.
And on some level, it will also go to sort of enhancing infrastructure. For example, we're actually going to pay someone to edit so as to stick to a schedule. And we're also we're in the near future.
There's too behind the scenes. There's too
Well,
much information.
I think that's appropriate to say, but it is soon enough. We'll be working on trying to get it up on
I'm gonna
iTunes
pocket
and
that
shit,
money. I was
and
gonna
that's going to cost some money.
All that money.
Everybody,
No.
everybody.
We're gonna pay someone.
Hippo skimming a little off the top. I know. I know what it's
Basically, all that
about,
matters-
Well, I'm just saying we're looking to expand, and this money is the way that we can make some infrastructure enhancements that would have just come out of our pockets, but otherwise now there will be ways to do it.
Listen, guys.
All right,
You fans, you all know that I'm God, and that if you press 1 to me right now in the comments,
Press
then
$1 on the Patreon
I get
page.
even more power. But here, if you donate $1, then I get that's the equivalent of 1,001. So everyone, donate $1 right now.
God.
$1.
Donate $1 for Munchie. Donate $1 for Munchie 1,000 times.
Dude, I can't believe I didn't think to make the $1 pledge like a Munchie-related one thing. I got to do that as soon as we're done.
Just
That's
the,
best
just the
way to do
important
it.
thing to remember, everyone give us money, but also still give me money on top of that.
Yeah. Patreon.com
/
/
the Pro
Ben Saint.
Crastinators podcast.
There we go.
I think is what it's called.
Yeah, what is
No,
that called?
it's patreon.com / the Procrastinators. Right?
Patreon.com
I think
/
that's
the
what it will be.
Procrastinators.
Look, if that doesn't work, just click the link in the description. It might change, but I think that's what it's going to be.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be
All
the
right,
death of
well-
us.
That's fucking sorted. That's fucking all sorted and done with, and we've done it, everyone.
Right,
We've
thank
made
God.
it.
Let's do
It's
some
been
questions.
a long time coming. Okay, let's go to some questions. Okay, here is a one for Munchie and the rest of the group.
Woo!
What level of Christ consciousness are you all on?
I'm at the highest fucking level, baby. I'm
but-
I'm level 7, bro. I'm level 7.
Level 7.
fucking
By the way,
Christ.
that's by
Munchie,
Chiaro
Munchie.
at Chiaro333. Thanks for the question.
Munchie, can you scan me? Because I don't know how to figure it
All right.
out.
Let me see. You got that nice pale skin. You got that. You got those fucking. Oh yeah, bro. All right. 2. You're at 2.
Okay.
Is too
Are
good?
most people
Very
at 2 or what are most people
the
at?
default, if you're like Ben Saint, you're at 1.
Hey,
As
man,
low as you can
I'm
go.
down with the
That's
Christ
Ben Saint.
consciousness.
Ben Saint, the default man.
What the fuck? That's like the worst thing anyone's ever said to me.
You
here's
open the
here's
character creation menu and just the default.
It's just Ben.
He's just the
No,
template
not
from
that
which you add
guy.
shit.
That's fucking
God.
hilarious. Here's a question
God
from
in
our,
heaven.
our old friend
no, we
Ennui
didn't tell
on me.
we didn't tell everyone what's our Christ consciousness.
I mean, how deep do you want
Okay,
to go?
real quick,
into this
Munchie,
wanna
give
go
us
really
all a
quick.
Christ score.
Yeah. All right, Jesse, you're at you're at a 4.
Yeah!
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your chakras are moderately aligned. Nate, you're at a 2. You have room for improvement.
I agree. I hate Jesus.
Ben is at a 1, of course. I'm at a 7.
Of course.
Davu is at an 8.
Whoa, shit.
Whoa. Oh my God.
Well, he's
Is that because he's
he's
absorbed so
literally
many
God,
people?
So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Does that mean Jesus is his son?
He just edited his own consciousness to be Christ
Yeah,
level 8.
I know it's fucking cheating, but I have to abide by the rules,
Yeah,
Christ.
hate the game, not the player. You
I
know
love
what I'm
this
saying?
fucking Christ consciousness. What does that even mean? Okay,
Christ
whatever,
consciousness-
let's move on.
That's how you know that Nate is a fucking
Yeah.
zero because he doesn't even know this shit.
Nate, you're a fucking 0.
I'm
I
such a
kinda like-
disgusting
We'll have to
pizza-faced
ask
atheist.
the slam poetry Jesus guy to know what Christ consciousness truly means.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Christ consciousness is how many dimensions you can travel, basically.
Oh.
It's like how your consciousness and like how
wow.
many
Whoa, so I'm a
dimensions you have.
4-dimensional being, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
exactly.
Nice.
And Hippo, what were you saying?
No, I was just, remarking on the fact that Jesse is half the amount of God. in
Yeah.
this-
That
in this
Davu is.
scale.
That Davu is.
Ben's a 1-dimensional being.
I'm a one-dimensional character. I'm a flat character. I got no
He's
fucking
just a
arc
line.
to me.
We start with a point.
Yeah, just a line.
Then we make another point and draw a line.
Here's
Yeah,
a
so
here's a
basically
silly
you're cool.
question. Yes, excellent.
Yeah.
Here's a silly question, but might be interesting to hear. Ennui on Me asks, at what point did you realize you were internet famous?
Right now, when you ask that question.
Yeah,
I guess
thank you.
that would be it.
I know
I guess
exactly
that-
when I realized it. Her name was Caitlin.
None of us are.
Lol.
None of us.
I don't think any of us
I
really
realized
are,
I was
except
internet
Digi, maybe a little
famous
bit.
when Jesse made Cruising with Munchie. That's when I
That's
realized.
true.
Wait, what was Cruising with Munchie?
It was all the quote Munchie-isms from the Memes That Need to Die podcast in its own video with Vaporwave in the background.
I felt internet famous as soon as Give and Take featured Kagan Phantom in an analysis assemblage.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah,
The
I
first time
think
when
generally
Gib made that video.
like being put in someone else's video or someone making a video about you makes you internet famous.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment
You know,
I can definitely.
well, I just wanted to say I also felt pretty fucking famous in my current non-pony incarnation when fucking Joji's Magic Supplies made an analysis video fucking analyzing my comics. Go watch that.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, it's like comparing the Vapors to Watamote and oh god, one other thing that I forget. I haven't seen it in a
Boogie
while.
Pop?
Some
maybe?
wrestling guy recently
Yeah.
made a like top 5. He made like a top 5 AMVs of all time, even though he's not really an anime guy. He put my Gurren Lagann one at number 2. Like it was weird. He started it off and was like using mine as an example of like how you can make a genius one in like this thing he was doing, and yet mine was only number 2, and then like some run-of-the-mill fucking Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood one was number 1. I don't understand why he set it up that way if I wasn't going to be number 1, but that was cool. That was nice.
Second
It wasn't-
best guy ever.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
but
it's
like,
like-
I don't know about.
I just thought that was a weird way to
famous,
structure it.
'cause That's kind of
It's
harder
like he
to
was setting it up.
get my head to like wrap my head around. But like having fans who like actually appreciate me. I remember that first happened as a moment when some comment was like, "I'd be sad if Devu stopped making videos," and I'm like, "Whoa, someone would be sad if I didn't exist." That's like way more meaningful than someone being happy that you do exist.
I guess I think
agree.
of internet famous as something a bit bigger than just having fans that are in a group that can be
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, a few. I mean, it's still thousands of people, but like
I think internet famous is when people get mad at you because you haven't satisfied some incredibly specific standard that they think you are obligated to follow
No,
because
I
of
think-
your
I
level of
think-
fame.
internet famous truly is when the first time you get laid from being
That's exactly
from
what
a
I was
fan.
gonna
like
say.
I remember the moment where I truly felt like, wow, I've made it, was in 2013 when the first time that I fucked a fan, when she got on a plane and came all the way here to my dingy little basement just to cuck her boyfriend and get the endless D
Wow.
for 3
Yeah.
days. And that's, I looked up at the stars on the night that I dropped her off at the airport to send her back on her way home because I was done with her. I went out and I laid in the grass and I looked at the stars and I looked at the Big Dipper and I reminisced about my Big Dipper going into her.
Yeah.
And I said, I've truly made it, gang. I was talking to my gang was there too now. That's part of the story as well. Everyone was there.
because Goofy and Vegeta.
Yeah, Donatello
and
was
there's
there
Juan.
and Commander Shepard, and Juan, the whole gang.
Did Donatello get a turn?
No, none of my retarded characters are allowed to encroach on my fornication activities.
That's
I've seen your,
story
I've seen
went
your sex
artistically
tape, Jesse.
worthless.
I've seen Cole Corona's sex tape. I know the truth.
Who
Here's,
hasn't? He's uploaded it on every streaming site known to man. He's been blocked from every web hosting site ever. He's a monster.
Hey, here's one that's kind of relevant to our discussion today. Donovan, at Donovan on Guts, asks, what's the most out there or difficult to get into piece of media that you enjoy? Which is kind of relevant to our discussion about mediums.
Homestuck, easy.
think so? That's not
Homestuck
that
is
hard to
super
get into.
fucking easy. It's literally
just
like
long.
the
No,
shortest.
I can confirm that
it's
Homestuck
short.
is hard to get into because I hate it and I have no desire to
No,
get into
Homestuck's fucking easy. Everyone who says it's long or hard to do is gay.
That's
They're
like
literally
saying
stupid.
fucking
it.
an
No, it's not
anthill
just
is a hard
it's
medium
not
to
just
get
that it's
into.
long though. It's that it's long and also queer as fuck.
Hold on.
yeah, but that's,
very
you
important
know.
difference here. Hard to get into for you back when you first got into it, or hard for people to get into in general. That's a very important
open to
distinction.
Well, he doesn't
interpretation there.
specify.
So that's pretty hard to get into for you.
Also, you know what? Fucking Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah, you know what?
yeah, that's-
Actually,
that's pretty legit.
I really enjoyed Dwarf Fortress. I know I would love it, yet I have not yet succeeded in getting into it, so I'm going to go with that too.
I have one. It's the hardest thing for me to get into was the Legend of Zelda franchise because I always hated Link from playing Smash, and everyone liking Link more than Samus. And
Makes
that's
sense to
why
me.
I didn't want to get into it. That's really hard. Really difficult.
I think any anime, because there's just like chink shit going on, and it's like it's awful.
You're right about that, dude. Okay, here's a juicy question. At Varamir9 wants to know: are there any new memes that need to die? Any big ones that people have been burning to see
well,
executed?
the Undertaler needs to live. I think
Yeah.
we can all
Oh,
He
agree
has
on
to
that.
live.
yeah.
He must live. Yeah, he's got a bright future.
Hey guys, it's me, the African Undertale. Did I miss the PCP recording
Oh,
today?
I'm sorry.
I'm
African
sorry.
Undertaler, you did. We were just wrapping up.
Oh, gay. I'm leaving now. Bye. He was banging his chest on the way out, in case you didn't hear.
What a good man.
He was so polite. He just wanted to know, and when he knew his service wasn't needed, he left.
That's right.
We're never mad at the African Undertaler.
It's hard to be because he's so oppressed in our never mind. Moving on.
A meme that needs to
Didn't have the
die.
wherewithal to follow through with that statement.
I think I'm the only one that this question's relevant to, but it's quick and I thought I'd answer it. At Michael Seraph4 just asked, for those of you who have taken Nihongo, or that's Nipponese, for those of you who don't speak the devil's tongue, who've taken Nihongo class, what was your experience like? It's Japanese. I'm talking about Japanese.
Oh, okay.
I listened to some Learn Japanese tapes on tape that I got from the library one summer, and it was kind of fun.
I would say I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning the alphabet. It was like a transforming experience once I was able to read the letters of the Japanese language, the hiragana and katakana, and I was never very good at the speaking, but I think it's really fun, so I encourage you to do it.
Wait,
It's real fun.
Nate. Why did you think this
What?
doesn't apply to me? I can speak fluent fucking Japanese.
Well, Munchie,
It was pretty
We
good.
don't
It was
all
pretty
have
good.
that level of Christ consciousness, Munchie.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you hit Christ consciousness level 5 and above, you automatically unlock speaking Japanese as a bonus feature.
Of
I've been
course,
trying
of
to
course.
get into Japanese for like a long time. There's a great website, JapanesePod101.com, hosted by a New Yorkian guy
JapaneseNiggas.com.
who's just like so fucking is so goddamn enthusiastic. He's always like, guys, now we're gonna talk about grammar. I can't wait. And like the Japanese people who he co-hosts with are like, yep. And it's cool. So that was my experience. It's cool. I just
think
need
you only watch-
it's simply a matter of prioritizing it over other things I can do. So once I'm out of other things to do,
Yeah.
I'll get back to that.
I'll prioritize you over
Japanese.
other things I can do, you fuck.
Wait.
Datebayo.
Do you know what that means?
It means Naruto.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I was thinking of a different word. Yeah, it's weird Naruto-ism. I forgot that.
Itadakimasu.
Oh
I
wait,
would
what
like
are you
to
guys
eat
talking about?
food.
I know perfect Japanese. Sakara-kan gekimasu.
Sakura kangikimasu. Smile DK. That's the only Japanese word I know.
Smile, DK, for the camera.
It's me, the African Undertale. I'm back to smile for the camera.
It's
me, my God. the
Donkey Kong Taylor.
Oh, fuck you, you copyrighted bitch.
Wow. Lead singer of
Hard
Smile
hitting.
DK. Okay, the rest of these questions are bullshit, but here's one. At Levy Jevy just asks, when's the next Drawcast? You guys gonna do one of
We
those?
just need to
anytime
come up with
soon?
a thing to
Me and
broadcast.
Endless Jess just did one 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Did
it's probably
you?
not up yet. That's
Guys,
Wait,
can
guys,
we,
guys,
should,
got
guys,
some
should we
goals.
open up the
Great.
suggestions, ideas for drawcasts?
We should, yes,
of
actually,
course.
we should, because I really want to do more of them.
Yeah, tweet that right now, and we'll think about it.
Yeah. Do it.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
Yeah.
dead.
Drawcast
I'm telling you
drawcast
to do
suggestions
your
because we're all
job,
just completely
bitch.
at a loss for what to draw.
We'll
so,
draw
yeah,
famous
tell us.
YouTubers.
No,
You know,
no,
as
we'll
we-
draw-
as
we'll
we-
draw-
yeah,
It's so
bro.
much money.
We'll draw cubes. We'll draw rectangles. We'll draw cones. And
I have an
cuboids and
original character who
trapezoids.
is a box, so that would work
Eggs.
out.
Ooh, does the box have any
Sonic.
distinguishing characteristics?
Her name is
Sonic
Mrs.
inflation
Box,
porn.
and she's a dolled-up gal.
That sounds awesome. That sounds rad.
Hey, Munchie, when's fucking Investigator
Shut
coming
the
out?
fuck up, Ben, you fucking
I
you
re-
black sympathizer. It'll come out when
I
it's
really
out.
want it. I want it right now.
You're dead.
We all
I love you.
We all want.
I
Okay.
love you, Munchie.
all right.
Thank you. I love you too,
I-
Ben.
I care about you, and I just want the best for you.
I'll renounce my devilish ways and get back to work.
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to hear.
You got to retake that Christ consciousness and put it to good work. Okay,
Yeah.
I think we're done. All these questions are bullshit. Ask better questions next time, you idiots. You can't be counted on for anything. Okay, thanks for listening, everybody.
Patreon.com/the procrastinators. Press
make sure you go
$1
too.
for Munchie. $1.
Click the link in the description.
God.
But I think it's
The
patreon.com/theprocrastinators.
patreon.com/procrastinators meme is going to slowly push out the patreon.com/Ben Saint meme.
And make sure that you ask us more questions and give us topics at TP Crastinators. So go follow us on Twitter and shit.
And suggestions for drawcasts. Okay.
And drawcast
bye.
suggestions.
Today was
Suggest
like
everything,
the worst
peeps.
episode ever.
You're
I
the
know,
worst
it's
episode
Easily.
ever.
Easily.
No, it's a good one. It was this one.
It definitely has the least artistic value of any
Yep.
podcast we've done so far.
Oh yeah.
We didn't
that's
discuss
no
how
question
much
about it.
value podcasts have.
Wow.
Oh my god.
God.
0.
Wow,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
it's
yeah.
low.
You
It's-
really
it's
are
low.
the least artistic value. That's what they
Thank
say.
you.
It's the, wait, no. But you know what? You know what? That makes this episode self-referential and meta, making it high art.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay,
Yep,
this
yep,
is
yep,
the
yep.
best podcast. Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah, see,
it's
I was
over.
right all along.
It's confirmed. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. We're going to see you next time. Go fuck yourself.
$1 for
I'm supposed to be working right now. I'm supposed to be working right now. But I'm not working. I'm doing nothing. My dick I'm jerking. Myself I'm sucking. I am an asshole. I am a stupid. I've got a deadline. Don't wanna do it. What the hell is wrong with me? I'm supposed to be making money. I'm supposed to be creating funny things that the people gladly will pay for. Artistic genius, that's what they came for. Instead, I'm tweeting, hashtag repeating. That's why there's no heat and holes in the ceiling. Yeah, it's quite the burden. It's a hard knock life being a genius.